Hi everyone, Harshita Paleka here. I'm co-founding team and customer success lead at Rhythm 9 Quantum Tech Limited, operating from DIFC Dubai, UAE. In today's podcast, we have Mr. Kiran Dnyaneshwar Shinde. Hello Kiran, welcome to the PropTech Pioneers podcast.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for inviting.
So before going ahead with the podcast, I would like to give a little intro about our guest today. With over 19 years in the tech world, our guest is currently leading the changes in IT and digital transformation at top organization in UAE. He's passionate about all the digital and whether it's AI, machine learning or big picture project strategies. He is using the passion to help reshape the future of the finance and the real estate industries. At his current company, he has been behind some game-changing projects like rolling out SAP systems and using AI-powered analytics to drive ESG goals. Before this, at Aditya Birla Capital, he played a key role in bringing in advanced digital tools that truly made a difference to the business. His journey so far speaks volumes about his commitment to building smart, scalable digital systems that fuel real growth and transformation. Welcome, Kiran.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the warm welcome. Really appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Before going into the conversation, I would like you to introduce yourself. I want to know from your end, how did you start this journey? How have you come into this place? I want to know from your words.
So, like everyone's dream, right? Even during my college days, I always wanted to work in IT, and software development has always been very close to my heart. I started as a C++ and C developer when I was in my graduation time, and that's where I got a knack of that this is what something I want to do. Like any other college education, any of the individual goes through in India, gone through all the entrance exams, completed the post graduations, and then via campus placement we started working. In those days, I think this Java systems were hotcakes, and they were working on full rampant pace. But it's very funny. I initially got an opportunity to work on mainframe systems. That is, those AS400, where you start the software development with a basic assembly language. So I had completed the entire circle while doing the education, completing my education from the low-level, high-level languages like C, and then going on to move to all the high-level languages in software programming. And at the end, getting the opportunity to work on the language which directly sits on a machine code, that is assembler. So yes, it has been very exciting. And then I got the first opportunity as a software developer, moved on to the different roles which I always enjoyed and cherished. And finally, we became a team lead, architect, as any other a software aspirant always likes to be. And then at the end, started managing the projects and program. I have worked with big giants like the HDFCs and the Aditya Birlas of the world, and it has been God has been very kind to me. I've got a lot of mentorship from my C-suite, reporting managers. And right now, I'm a part of one of the leading real estate giant in United Arab Emirates, and that's how the entire journey has been.
That looks like an amazing journey, which is actually more remarkable. So before I'm interested in knowing, like, why did you choose this industry? What led you to your current role in Hamra? So I want to know more about it. Why real estate? Why not the other industries?
So right from the inception, I have worked with airlines, I've worked with banking, insurance, and a lot of other BFSI domains which are there, and the hospitality as well. I think real estate was something which I was primarily also very keen as per my, the personal investments are concerned. And I'm very much aware about the entire flow and how the business usually works. And when I got this opportunity, I thought, yes, I have again completed the entire circle from the functional standpoint as well. And if it is real estate, then why not UAE, right? UAE is the most booming real estate market right now. If you see, the inventories are getting sold like hotcakes. And the amount of traction, the digitization, the opportunities as far as the software development and digitization is concerned is immaculate as far as United Arab Emirates is concerned. and nothing better than a real estate industry. So there's, yes, that was always an exciting one, which I always wanted to touch upon. And after seeing such a lucrative opportunity to learn, along with earn, obviously, but learning was something which was my prime focus, and that's why I completely got latched onto this opportunity.
That's great. So, as I see, a lot of investors, like you have a lot of interest in the digitalization. So, what do you think in recent years? How do you think the digital transformation has reshaped the real estate industries? What do you think about that?
Well, digitization is something which has been there for quite some time. It has not only come up recently, but I think why it has picked up very well is that it's been now managed with a lot of other peripheral plugins. Now, for that example, earlier people used to call it as an automation. Now, digitization is complete because now you have got so many plethoras of channels which are there, the social media which is there, the different cloud systems which have emerged, how the entire the memory has shrunk and it has become less costly, it's become cheaper, how the processing power has gone up. All these factors have come up to see the Pythons of the world, and this all these languages which are being currently used for scripting have been there for quite some time, but they got their own status because the memory got cheaper, it got concise. They got the status because the entire processing power has gone high. So now this has come up with a lot of other peripheral features which have come up. Now, if you see, just take any of the form filling activities. If you ask any customer to do it, people used to fill in the form digitally as well. But right now, you get auto population view of the data with the help of some world check as far as UAE is concerned. If you look in India, you have those common numbers like Aadhaar cards. Via integration, you can pull the data. Or maybe in US, you can pull the data with the help of SSN. So all these factors which are there have given a better CX, that is a customer experience, and the UX that we are talking about. The interfaces were already there. The CI was already there. Customer interface was already there. But the UX has something which has appealed people, and that's how digitization is there. And now, obviously, you cannot ignore how the machine learning and artificial intelligence has been booming and creating that cascading better effect as far as customer experience is concerned. So now everything is come up together, and that is what is giving us a better fruit of all the hard work that the entire IT industry has put together. That is, I think, the crux for the entire digitization. And as far as the UAE is concerned, coming back to the question, as far as the UAE is concerned, UAE has been ramping the entire digital platform like anything. I think the initiatives coming from the government itself has been very much encouraging. The AI is something which has been centrally driven by the government of UAE, and same is with all the organization. It's coming from the leadership. It's coming from the top management. The AI is something which has become a KRA for each and every department in every organization as far as UAE is concerned. And yes, the LLMs of the world, the large language models which are coming up, the generative AI which is coming up is adding a lot of icing on the cake as far as the entire BAU is concerned of all the departments in the UAE.
Yeah. So when we are talking about the benefits what we are getting with this digital transformation, okay, I want to know also that in 19 years of your journey, challenges you have faced in implementing these digital strategies, and how did you overcome them? Yeah, there's always pros and cons in both ways, right? So may I know about that also here?
Look, the entire digitization, when we consider, it's never going to be a standalone, right? If you do any digitization in an organization, it has to interact with the external world. That is the macro world that you are talking about. Now, the other side can be your customer, or it can be your B2B. So either it can be a B2C, where customers are accessing your digital portals, or it's going to be a B2B, where business to business communicate with each other. Like in my organization, if I want to do an integration with a third party, maybe a bank, it becomes a B2B transaction for me. Now, in that case, the integration points and touch points and whatever the data transitions and entire processing, the massaging of the data is happened, that needs to be crystal clear. So I think the scope is very key as far as the B2B integrations are concerned, and the governance to be played on both the end becomes very pivotal. This is what has been my learning through my entire 19-20 years of experience. Governance and the business requirements has to be crystal clear. It's the nature of the beast. There's going to be a scope creep, which I understand, but how much minimum we can have that kind of loopholes is something which is very critical and crucial. Now, coming as far as the B2C is concerned, it always has to play as a part of customer experience. What would customer would be why would customer would be willing to fill in my forms? Why he would be willing to come on my portal? That is something, the question that every business solutioning team should be asking within their entire organization. For example, I'll give you one example. When we were designing a portal in my erstwhile organization, when I was working with Aditya Birla, we were doing demographic segmentation of the customers who was going to access our portal. Now that can be basis the age, basis the language, or any other parameters which are there. For example, if people are having age more than 60, then how should be the page to be displayed for doing the payment? The font should be bigger. The color should be very, very subtle, so that they don't feel very uncomfortable while doing the digital transaction. That's how the digital adoption increases, right? Secondly, if there are people from tier 2, tier 3 cities, you would like to have some multilingual kind of a approach for so that there is a digital traction and attraction from their end as well. So all these factors needs to be considered. And again, I have seen most of the digital project failing because all these aspects were not taken, and then we look for a customer success. But customer success, any digital adoption completely depends upon how much we think before we start executing. I think the planning, the designing, the design thinking, I think that's a buzzword happening in the industry. The design thinking has to be very crucial. How you want to target this problem, how you want to cater to your customers, and how you want to deliver this, and what kind of a brand image you want to create in front of your customer. That is very key. This is where I see most of the projects failing. Pros of it is obviously the brand image, the thought process that we put in some of the applications, the in-apps which are created, the in-frame apps which are created, which gives a very omni-channel experience. Those are also one of the pros that most of the digital world is trying to explore. Yeah, but I would say take it with a pinch of salt. Scope creep and strong governance are very key for any digitization. Apart from that, there are plethora of digital services, the integration APIs, and all of the plugins which are available to give a very great customer experience.
Yeah, that looks interesting. Apart from this, we would like to discuss about the pros and cons. So if we go ahead, looking ahead, what emerging technologies do you believe will have the most significant impact on the real estate? If you had to bet on the next big tech game changers in real estate, what would they be, and why would you think that would be?
Okay, I think as far as the real estate is concerned, most of the organizations have gone and adopted the entire bandwagon which is there as far as the Salesforce is concerned. I think that's there in most of the top-notch organizations. They have adopted Salesforce, and being an entire platform available for all the different activities of real estate, they have proven their mettle in the entire UAE market. Now, as far as I see the ERP is concerned, because most of the organizations in UAE or even in India are very heavily managed at the back end from the ERP perspective is concerned. Now, those can be of the likes of SAPs, and then the erstwhile systems which are there available. But what I see more is every organization is adopting a cloud first kind of an approach, where people used to have a cloud earlier used to have a mobile first approach, right? Similarly, now everyone wants to go for a cloud. Now, if that is something that we are looking for, like the bigger platforms like Salesforce which are there on the cloud, the on-premises ERPs also need to move to the cloud, and that transition is slowly happening. I'm seeing it. And then there are the bigger thing which are happening right now are the middleware integrations as far as the front end and the back end is concerned. Because if you consider any of the suites which are available, IBM API suites which are there, we got a lot of middlewares like MuleSoft, you got a lot of other middlewares like Informatica, and there are a lot of items which are available which you can do it. But at enterprise level, an integration via a middleware which works as a complete ESB bus is something that people are looking for, and that creates it creates a stepping stone for pushing the data with the help of ETL and creating a lakehouse or a data warehouse, what we call as, and then that gives the entire platform to run your AI activities on it. So earlier systems were silos. They were, the core systems were in the ERPs. Some of the systems were on SaaS platforms. Some of the systems were on-prem systems. But since the advent of, this cloud-first adoption which has come, people have, and most of the organizations have moved to the cloud, created that middle layer, created that entire ETL pipeline, moved into the data warehouse. Now that data warehouse is acting as a resource where you can run all different kind of AI models which are there. You can do machine learning, you can do artificial intelligence with respect to predictive analysis, you can do sentiment analysis, and then there are a lot of use cases that basically real estate organizations are driving to understand the requirements of the market requirements as far as the real estate requirements are concerned, whether they are 2 bed 3 bed villas. They try to understand the sentiment, they try to understand coming from the sentiment word cloud which is created, and that is basically fueling the organization to decide on what should be their future projects. So yes, I see the major shift happening with a lot of data, because data is a new oil, right? It's working as a reservoir, and that reservoir is basically used to tap and understand customers much better, do a much better real estate construction planning, and offer wonderful projects in UAE, which basically creates attraction. That's what I feel is primarily happening in the entire UAE IT market.
Yeah, that I think that will help out a lot of people with a lot of tools they might go through it. So with this, what for everyone who is going to look forward for aspiring professionals in this industry, for anyone out dreaming of leading digital transformation in real estate, what's your go-to advice or top tips for giving staying in the game-changing industry of this? What will help them out for driving real change in this industry of real estate in the future?
I think this is very very nice question and interesting question that you have asked, and I would rather than using my brain and answering it, I would like to use my heart to it. I always believe there should be a complete leadership as far as creating the next level is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
People under you should always be head hold and given that required understanding how customers should be managed as far as digital experience are concerned. When you talk about business solutioning team, the business analyst, the solutioning team, I think they need to understand two things which should be on their fingertips. One is the blue sky thinking. You just need to think wide. Just think as if some of the solutions. So every great idea was considered stupid, right, in this world, but those have come real. That has also happened as when people were talking about flying a aeroplane, right? Similarly, when you try to think about what should be provided to the customers, you need to have a complete blue sky thinking. Second would be obviously step into the shoes of the customer and try to empathize and understand how would you like to drive this journey, how would you like to do this form filling, or how would you like to enroll yourself for any of the real estate project. And similarly, how would you like to have that digital journey? Step into the project, two shoes of the customer, and then accordingly design. That is called as showing the empathy. These things are very important. I have been always doing in my entire career, head holding people under me, creating that next layer of business solutioning and business analyst people. Think about more and more solutioning as far as customer or the end users are concerned. I would suggest all the newcomers to just go for a blue sky thinking and focus more on design thinking. How would you like to tackle this particular problem? How would you like to design the solution to it rather than going for a quick closure? And trust me, most of the digital projects fail, as I already mentioned, because they were not thoroughly understood or thoroughly being solution from customer or end user standpoint.
That's nice. The blue sky thinking and digital and design solutions, yeah, that looks amazing. I mean, that's really insightful. So building on to that, what big trends do you see shaping the future of PropTech in next 5-10 years? How is your team getting ready to ride those waves?
I think the big wave which is already there, it's not gonna come. I would say is a complete AI generative models which are there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take the entire industry with a storm. I think predictive AI is something which gonna fuel the entire engine of the real estate is concerned. As far as in the UAE I'm talking about, UAE is concerned, predictive analysis is something is gonna be very key, where just to understand how the customer requirements are basis the feedback that we have received, or understanding the pattern in which all the earlier sales have happened with respect to properties. That is going to add a lot of understanding as far as the new projects are that are going to get launched. Recently, also, if you say there are different kinds of properties which are available in UAE. There are villas, there are one bed, there are two beds and all. But the consumption and the buying pattern of the customers are being analyzed, and now the entire real estate industry is focusing on customer segmentation and providing those personalized products where people have more traction, and some of the luxury products where people would buy for some selected segments. All this segmentation and predictive analysis is something which is going to be very key, and I see it has been already taken the UAE with a storm, and yes, my team is also very geared up for the same.
I see that's amazing plan ahead. So I would like to ask one last question. How do you see UAE embracing PropTech, and what role do you envision of yourself in driving its implementation within your Hamra organization?
I think PropTech, if you say, I think it is, yes, UAE is completely geared up. I've seen a lot of digitization, a lot of software solutions, plugins, and all different suites which are available being adopted. And I think it's a completely a juggernaut. A lot of applications, a lot of solutions are available in the market. As far as me and my teams are concerned, and our organizations are concerned, we are slowly yet steadily moving with a brisk understanding of what is basically super. See, a lot of solutions are available in the market, but it doesn't suit all the organization, because organization is also driven with the culture. Okay, and they also have their own skill sets, they also have their own knowledge base, they have their the vintage of the data, as well as with the wisdom which is available. So not all there's no one fit for all, right? So it has to be customized. So what I see as head of IT is we need to have those kind of a products which would tailor as per my requirement or my organization's requirement, and as per what basically suits our culture, the way we drive the entire business. So these all things are very important. Otherwise, if we go for something which fits to a very big real estate giant, what necessarily fit with other one which is a mid-tier one. So yes, every organization is taking that conscious call, which software solutions or which ERP suite or which sales suite which is available with likes of the Salesforce, or you talk about Microsoft Dynamics, which suits their sales culture, their way of driving the business. And yes, we are also very cautiously taking those calls which actually suits our way of doing the business.
That's great. I learned about like blue sky thinking and design solutions, which are more predominant in whatever the solutions that you gave, and the tools what you spoke, that was very insightful, and also the tips that you have given us for next professionals who are going to join the journey or who is going to go ahead with the journey. That was amazing. So I would thank you a lot for this sharing stage with the podcast. Thanks a lot, Mr. Kiran, for sharing your valuable insights with us today. And all our listeners who want to explore more about the world of PropTech, stay tuned for more episodes of PropTech Penis. Harshita Palida signing off from the House of Habytat. See you next time. Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure connecting with you folks. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.